Greetings and salutations, fellow YouTube enthusiasts. With the first year of Overwatch quickly approaching, a lot of new players have picked up the game, and I would like to take a moment to share with them the basic concepts of Overwatch. First and foremost, Overwatch is a team-based game. You have to work together with your teammates in order to win. It is not about who gets the most kills or medals or kill-to-death ratio, but whether your team actually secures the victory. A lot of players coming over from Call of Duty will have difficulty with this at first, but once you understand it's a team-based game, your gameplay will improve dramatically. My first tip is to use a microphone. Effective communication is key, and be sure to join team chat each game. Even if you don't speak, having someone who is calling out enemy positions will increase your response time. And yes, there will always be trolls and toxicity in chat, but once you do encounter people that you enjoy playing with or have effective communication, be sure to friend them for later. This will ensure you build a pool of players that you can group with on a regular basis and perhaps start to build a core group of team for competitive. Which brings me to my next point, moving away from the solo queue mentality. Once you find a group of people to play with, you have to learn to move away from the solo play style. This can be extremely difficult if all you do is solo queue. When not with an effective team, you find yourself having to rely on characters such as Mei, Roadhog, Soldier, characters that can support their own actions without having to rely on the rest of the team. This often leads to overextending and making rash attacks in hopes of a play of the game that will change the outcome. In solo queues, sometimes these types of plays may be necessary, but in a team dynamic, can lead your team to losing more engagements. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the team fight. A team fight is when all members of your team engage the other team. Usually that first fight of each match is a team fight, but then once a player dies, then respawns, they run back to the point. This is known as trickling in. Unfortunately, this is a byproduct from all other current first-person shooters from pretty much the last decade. An example of this is, let's say you had a team fight on the first objective, and the enemy team manages to kill 3 of your team. Well, as the 3 members respawn, and they start running to the point, the other 3 members die during the fight. Well, by the time you reach the point, it's still a 6-on-3 engagement. The odds are always going to be in the enemy team's favor. At this point, all you're doing is feeding the team's ultimates, and wasting precious time where you could be regrouping and actually taking the point. I cannot stress this point more than enough. You should always commit to a fight. Once it starts, the entire team should either win the point or all die, so that you can all regroup at the spawn at the same time and do a second push. If you stagger out the respawns, you're always going to be trickling in, and the enemy team will always have that advantage. Now, if your team did win the point, but you died during the engagement, but they are holding the point, it is okay to run back, but pay attention to the current numbers and only re-engage if the majority of your team is still alive once you get closer to the point. Let's say 5 were on the point when you started back, but you are halfway there, and now there are only 2 on your point. You may want to back off and wait for the current respawns and push again. Don't charge in hopes of a game-changing play unless you are absolutely certain you can change the outcome. Example would be something like Mercy's Res or Zenyatta's Tranquility. Ideally, you want to save your ultimates to win team fights or to counter enemy ultimates. We'll cover that in a later video. This is actually referred to as the ultimate economy, and paying attention to who has their ultimates and when to use them will ensure that your team has an advantage when the team fight starts. Basically, it boils down to which team has the most ultimates to bring to bear when the fight starts will win 90% of the encounters. By learning the team fight, you will see better outcomes in your personal results, but will also develop a deeper understanding of how Overwatch should be played, and in return, your win rate and SR rating and skill rating will improve. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe. Please feel free to share with friends and help grow the channel. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you next time.